Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Pro 2 Tiburon versus Juarez Jr. And we start off tonight, 4 matches, 4 ranked matches. Our first match will be in the welterweight division between Las Vegas' own and Super Pro veteran Babe Dillon and the representative of San Juan, Puerto Rico, S.A.M. A lady of mystery here. You see, we have about a 25-pound difference in weight and a 3-inch difference in height. Now, when you're dealing with athletes this small, you will see those differences maybe kind of grow exponentially, but then other times, there's no weight cutting here in Super Pro, so people carry their weight different ways. Here we have Sam coming out now. Sam, obviously a masked figure, not a traditional luchador's mask. You see, it's much more influenced by our friends in the East, maybe picking up some way of the ninja. And of course, again, not hailing from Mexico either. Sam is of Puerto Rico. So not the most conventional luchadora to appear in Super Pro. And again, she's fighting the prize fighter in Babe Dillon. Babe Dillon, of course, a former Super Pro Women's Champion. She lost that title to Lex Elkins before it was eventually discontinued in favor for the separate welterweight and junior middleweight titles. We'll see if Babe can have continued success now here, where she'll be fighting women roughly her size or maybe even smaller, probably for the first time in her career.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, Babe Dillon.
Now here, Babe fighting out of Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world. Babe, no stranger to various extreme sports. Was actually thinking about going pro as a BMX rider. I didn't even know that was still a thing. I thought they stopped doing that in like 2003. She elected to go with professional wrestling instead. She spent some time in Japan with Wildfire Pro Wrestling. Again, you'll hear that name a lot. Before settling in Super Pro, and then here we are now, starting, as always, with a ranked match with a time limit of 15 minutes. Sam locking up the arm. Gets behind. Quick sweep on Babe. Babe, however, not classically trained as a professional wrestler, has been in the business for long enough now where you'll see her pick up some little technical tips and tricks, although her bread and butter has always been the sort of explosive and dynamic offense that a former extreme sports athlete you would expect from an athlete of her caliber. Of course, now coming after Sam, going that foot choke, dragging her back into the middle of the ring. A spinning leg drop and a roundhouse kick to the upper back, to the spine, to the neck. That's the kind of thing where you'll start to see it pay dividends later on in the match. Another thing you don't see pointed out much is that hurts. That'll knock the wind right out of you. That is a big shot to the lungs coming from the backside there, too. That'll affect your gas tank. Sam, again, going for the arm. That's the second time we've seen her target that as she uses her shoulder there as a hyperextension. Big German suplex. Gets Babe on her. And again, going for the arm, keeping Babe on her back foot as it would be. Keeping now, just continuing that strain. Babe Dillon, however, not super dependent on that arm for her big moves. She likes to hit that frog splash off of the springboard, and she likes to hit a face breaker. Those are usually going to be one of those moves that ends the night. She also has a really good corkscrew moonsault. So perhaps targeting the arm, not the best move for S.A.M in this batch. Still going at it. You saw that stomp there, land to the arm. I think she's hitting up both arms at this point. Gets that body lock, goes in. Oof. Big suplex type maneuver there. That's a bad bump to take. You're taking that right on your tailbone. And that will affect the explosion from Babe's lower body, which she depends so much on for her offense. Goes in there, drop kick to the knee. And she goes up to the top rope. See what kind of maneuver she hits. Big flying elbow. It doesn't snap into it, as certain athletes I'm not under Super Pro's employ might. But coming again with that kick to the upper back. And a corkscrew moonsault. I called it earlier. Here she is now. And waiting on the ropes, taking her time. Again, she's still got 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes rather, in this match. So no use in trying to rush to the end of the book. Jumps clean over the springboard. That's got to be bad for your knees. Jumping straight to the mat right there. Misses the big right. Eats a side kick to the gut. Misses a drop kick. Babe might be rocked here. S.A.M now getting fired up in the ring. Babe returns. Irish whip. And another big German suplex. Those are nasty. A lot of German suplexes coming around Super Pro. German suplexes, Russian leg sweeps. You know what we don't have? German wrestlers or Russian wrestlers. Oh, sit out, side slam there from a urinal. And a corkscrew moonsault of her own. S.A.M giving Babe a taste of her own medicine. S.A.M also a fan of that maneuver. 1-2 and a strong kick out. Almost thought I talked over the end of the match there. That would have been awkward. S.A.M now looked for something big in the corner. And she misses. She misses what might have been a running blockbuster or a running sidekick. Now Babe taking advantage. Irish whip into the corner. Monkey flip. Sending S.A.M reeling. Looking for something big here. Could be that face breaker. And it is. It's the single kneed face breaker. Launching S.A.M into the air there. 1, 2, and 3. And that is it. Babe Dillon becomes 1-0 in the women's welterweight division here in Super Pro. You got to think she's got to be maybe, 1-2 victories away from, getting a shot at that inaugural welterweight title. This is a title match that has not been announced yet. Babe was already in strong position coming in here based on her history with the promotion. But, a victory like that, which I believe came within the first 5 or 6 minutes of the match, over a very game opponent in San Juan's own S.A.M. And we will have to see who else arrives as a standout in this welterweight division. We had La Hija de la Luz win a triple threat unranked match on the last episode of Super Pro. Could she be on her way there? Obviously not going to affect her ranking, but it will affect how she is booked. She will now be booked with the expectation of victory. And what better expectation of victory could be rewarded than with a match with Babe Dillon? Anyway, we're moving on to our heavyweight Grand Prix as MARKO JING, the right hand Don of Hong Kong, versus La Tempestad. Marko Jing, he's been around. 5'10", 324, just a complete brick shithouse. He's been around for a long time, but he still has that indomitable power in his right hand. And you ask anybody, that is the last thing. What the? Is it raining in here? How's it raining in here? We don't have a sprinkler system. What's going on? How's the cam? Is the camera all right? Do you guys have like a Gallagher thing to put over the camera? Okay. I'm hearing that we've managed to improvise some rainproofing for the equipment, so you shouldn't experience any technical difficulties. La Tempestad, not a character that I am familiar with at all. You saw in the matchup there, weighing in around 270, I believe. Coming in at 6'7", Los Angeles' own. I think Boyle Heights specifically in Los Angeles. Just a, La Tempestad, obviously Spanish for the tempest, the storm. Not, you've got to wonder like what kind of forces a character as this might bring. And professional wrestling, it's filled with a history of demons from other realms and masters of dark arts and those who are willing to sacrifice themselves to the other side. And oftentimes the morality of these people can be less than obvious, can be somewhat ambiguous, and we will have to see how La Tempestad establishes himself among his peers in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Is he a guardian, or is he here to lay siege? We will have to find out. I'll have to find out how he even got involved in this tournament. But moving on to a completely more understandable competitor in the Super Pro Heavyweight Grand Prix is Marko Jing. I mentioned before, the Dawn of Hong Kong. Marko, clearly a classicist, a sentimentalist, throwback to the old days. We have a couple of those too. Marko Jing, former powerlifter, I believe he was actually on the Chinese Olympic weightlifting team in the mid-90s. But also a very renowned amateur boxing background as well. Sort of a multifaceted, multi-talented guy. But I mentioned, again, Olympic team in the mid-90s and an extremely grueling sport. You've got to wonder how much mileage this guy has left. Always here to give out a good show, to be here for the fans, to have fun. You can always count on that in a Marko Jing fight. But you never know when, is this the fight where the body doesn't go where the mind wants it to go, or does he have one last great run left? We will find out as La Tempestad starts with a big Beal throw onto the noticeably shorter but possibly thicker Marko Jing. Meeting in the middle of the ring there, neither man wanted to give up any room. La Tempestad coming in with the big strikes, possibly trying to outright hand Marko Jing. Marko Jing with a sunset flip. Marko Jing, a surprisingly agile guy. He can get away with a lot being in the heavyweight division with his stature. He can get around larger athletes very well. Now pounding away with these hard shots. These are life-shortening shots. Again, that is not a place where you want to be. That might be the last place you want to be in a fight with Marko Jing, is under his full mount eating shots. And La Tempestad knows that. Big backbreaker onto the spine, obviously, of Marko Jing. And a Rainmaker DDT, an apt move choice. Now he's looking for the knee press, and a little bit of showboating. Not something I would have expected given the ominous debut of La Tempestad. Marko Jing now fighting out of the claw shoulder hold. You might see that a lot, you know. Oh, big butterfly suplex. As I was saying before, you're going to see La Tempestad, if he's smart, he's going to target those points of stress, the shoulders, the back, those heavily braced knees. These areas that over the years have just experienced so much wear and tear. And we'll have to see if he can take advantage of that. And hopefully he doesn't get too excited, doesn't go headhunting. Because if you get in a brawl with Marko Jing, this is what happens. You get pounded into the mat. And frankly, it is amazing that he has been in that position twice. And again, manages to to kick out of the cover. Most men would be unconscious in such a position. Marko Jing now gets him up on his shoulder. It drops him neck first onto the top rope. You have to wonder if the Storm needs to breathe. It needs oxygen. Big pop-up European uppercut. That might be it. No, let's have a stab right back up to his feet. The chin on this guy. As if you needed any further. And now Marko Jing back up to his feet. Neither man wants to step back at all. Wants to give any ground. Now Marko Jing going for those areas of structural integrity. The back, the legs. Gets a 2 count. Tempestad kicks out. Only a little over 3 minutes into this match, and I feel like I've been commentating for an hour and a half. A lot of action going on very quickly. Big right hand by La Tempestad. And now the thunder rolls. And you have to wonder if that means, I think it does. I think what we're going to see here, this might be it. Tempestad, the lightning strikes. He goes for the cover. We'll see if it hits. Ref goes 1, 2. Oh my God. I mean, you all saw that. He knocked his head off. I don't know how Marko Jing is standing. How are you standing after so much damage in this match? And he does he pulls a Hurricane Rana? Marko Jing is fighting like a man possessed. He's fighting like Ahab. He's fighting like Lieutenant Dan, screaming at God to end him in a storm. He will not go down without a fight. And now he goes, a big pop-up right hand. The kiss of death. The Jing bomb. The Hong Kong Don's right hand bomb. And La Tempestad kicks out. The pure resilience, and I don't know if that can save him again. You know, Marko Jing lining him up again for another right hand bomb from the Don of Hong Kong. I'm going to say that differently every time. 1, 2, and 3. Marko Jing advances to the semifinals of the Heavyweight Grand Prix. Marko Jing, the guy that, you know, Tempestad comes in here, brings the supernatural with him. And Marko Jing, with just pure willpower and grit, and, you know, any man with a closed fist can change the world. And Marko Jing proving that here tonight, taking on the forces of nature itself. I'm a little lost for words. It's kind of emotional, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you, Marko Jing was not brought in here with any expectation of success. He put him with an unknown and thought this was where we would learn about La Tempestad. And La Tempestad hit everything. Hit him with everything. Hit him, you know, the thunder roll, the lightning strike. Rain was made, and yet Marko Jing stood strong. He withstood La Tempestad. Now we go, as if that wasn't enough heavyweight action, we have our other heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinal for tonight. to determine the last spot in the semifinals as Billy Hacksaw takes on Jason McKay. Billy Hacksaw from no place in particular. Again, you gotta wonder about like what the tax situation is with anybody who bills themselves from a place like that. And Glasgow's own Jason McKay of the Clan McKay. Two big boys once again. Billy Hacksaw looks like if PCP and Crystal Meth had a child.
No place in particular. Weighing in at 300
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, I'm going to go with that. That's what Billy Hacksaw looks like. Billy Hacksaw actually... Like, if I saw Billy Hacksaw and I heard a banjo, I would be pretty sure I'd actually showed up in hell. I'm pretty sure that's where... the only place that would happen.
And his opponent,
Now, of course, he's Scottish, so you know he had to wear a kilt. It is Jason McKay of the Clan McKay.
Jason McKay.
A relative rookie. You know, he's only been in the professional wrestling business for a couple of years now. But easily one of the higher prospects of Super Pro's relaunch. You saw there in the match card graphic, he's a imposing physical specimen. Possibly the tallest of any of the heavyweights in this tournament. At 6'9" and 282 pounds. Oh, forgive me, he is not the tallest because I forgot about Taurus Fire, who just defies all laws of physics. Jason McKay, though, the tallest remaining member of this tournament. We'll see how long that lasts. It's Billy Hacksaw going right for him as if he took the last bit of chew. Jason McKay taking shots to the body. Little unusual to see the taller guy go for shots to the body that soon, but then again, you're in a clinch situation. You're going to see guys sort of, I don't want to say panic, but sort of get a little bit more aggressive in that situation and hit whatever's open. The speed on that reverse DDT was something to be admired. And now, to counter that, a gut-wrench powerbomb from a deadlift position. And again, 6'9", that is a long way down, even for a guy as big and as strong as Billy Hacksaw. Jason McKay going for a cover early. Pretty early, about a minute and 10 seconds into it, and he's going for a second cover. One. Yeah, you're only going to get a one count, kid. Like, calm down. Settle into it. Realize you're in a long fight. This is the kind of situation where... And now Billy Hacksaw taking the outside and eats a big, big boot from Jason McKay. I was going to say that Jason McKay would possibly be worried about suffering from an adrenaline dump. Coming out too fast and too hard out of the gates here, but... Well, up until now, he was maintaining it. Billy Hacksaw gaining control back. Wrenching the arm. And once again, Jason McKay attacking that body to get out of the clinch. If Hacksaw can re-enter that clinch and keep his body closer to McKay's, he will take a lot of the power away from those body shots. And we'll have to find out if McKay maybe has another way to escape from that situation when he's not given that much space to work with. Then again, it's hard to crowd a guy who's 6'9", and can toss you like a baby doll. Like, that's not... This is not taught. This is power. And it's kind of scary. It's a testament to Billy Hacksaw's endurance and to his tenacity that he is withstanding all of these big moves so early on to the match. MCKAY now beating down Hacksaw. Gives up full mount, possibly. Again, a rookie mistake. We'll see how it goes. Hacksaw with the wrist clutch clothesline. Not quite bringing the rain, but maybe possibly a little overcast. Now going with the colossal clutch. A camel clutch, as some might call it. MCKAY escapes rather easily. Again, those long arms allow him to reach the ankles of Billy Hacksaw from that position relatively easily. Trip up his base. Going for the cover again. We're seeing a lot of these covers from Jason MCKAY, and you gotta wonder, is it excitement? Is it overconfidence? Or perhaps it is partly strategy. Perhaps MCKAY is trying to wear out that explosive core of Billy Hacksaw. Although, right now, Billy Hacksaw firmly in control. Lighten up with a combination now. Another right and a left. Billy Hacksaw boxing southpaw there for a second. Possibly why he landed so often without answer from MCKAY. Most professional wrestlers fight right-handed. It's just something you see. Which is interesting because most amateur wrestlers, you'll find, will put their power leg forward, which means they would be southpaw in the traditional striking sense. And as I say that, I talk over a massive sit-out pile driver by Billy Hacksaw, and that might be it. 1, 2, and 3. That's, it doesn't matter how tall you are. You get your neck compressed. That's going to be lights out for you. Billy Hacksaw, a big display of just being the meaner, more experienced guy. In both matches tonight, we have seen the professional wrestler who's been around longer proceed into the next round of this heavyweight Grand Prix. And that might be the difference in all of these matches, is that you might see, as guys get further into the tournament and they start facing more tested competition, that it is more about knowing when to pick your spots, knowing when it would be useless to cover a guy, knowing when to pour it on, knowing when to slow it down, knowing when to strike, knowing when to grapple. Because that's all it is. It's all what you do and when you do it. It's only two things that make this professional wrestling world go around. But the mastery of those two things is rare. The mastery of one of those things is rare. And surely, in order to win this tournament, you will have to be a master of both of those elements. And we will see, of the 4 men remaining, who ends up there. Now, we have our Cruiserweight Championship between another veteran in Tiburon NEGRO 2 and Juarez Jr. Now, Tiburon NEGRO 2, obviously, the son of Tiburon NEGRO. He's been around a long time. 6'2", meaty 231. He is really the sort of classic representation of what it means to be a true luchador. I can't roll my R's, but you get my point. But right now we have Juarez Jr. Now, fans of early Super Pro from the late 90s and early 2000s might recognize the name Juarez. It's Juarez Jr.'s old man by the name of, you guessed it, Juarez, was actually a former Super Pro World Heavyweight Championship holder, and even at one point ran the entire promotion. Juarez was actually the man that Kyle Stevens, El Pistolero, fired after his purchase of Super Pro and assumed his role of CEO and of matchmaker. Now, Juarez Jr. not super tested. You've got to wonder if maybe his staying on was a favor to the last organization, or if, maybe he is a genuine prospect. He doesn't quite have the size of Juarez, but then again, who does? That guy was a monster. Juarez Jr. coming in around 6'3", around 235. Not small by any means, but his father definitely would have been in the Cruiserweight division. And of course, I say this as Tiburon NEGRO Dos makes his way to the ring. And this is a tough match. Juarez Jr. getting this title shot. Again, possibly because it was leveraged by Dad during the crossover of ownership. But you're getting thrown into deep waters here. And not only that, you're getting thrown into deep waters, and you're swimming with a shark. A black shark, specifically. The second black shark, to be really specific. And there we have the Super Pro Cruiserweight Championship. Supremely gorgeous belt. Reminder that the Cruiserweight division ranges from 225 pounds to 250 pounds. Again, not much of a height difference, not much of a weight difference between these guys. Juarez is a little bit of probably the leaner of the two. Probably, again, as you see there, the more explosive dynamic athletically. And there you see the advantage of being built like a brick shithouse with Tiburon Jr. hitting the Tiburon Dos. My apologies. Hitting the big German suplex. Big drop toe hold there, and a short, mean DDT by Juarez Jr. Juarez Jr. now rolling Tiburon into the ring, kicking him down. A big drop kick to the back of the skull. Now Juarez Jr. not the best boy. Not always the most behaved kid in class, if you catch my drift. Goes for the cover here early again, similarly to the move that Jason McKay made in our previous match. About a minute and a half into this match, a reminder, of course, all title matches will be 25 minutes. If no winner is declared by that 25-minute time limit, the match will be declared a draw. We will not suffer judges' decisions. If you cannot end the match, you did not win the match. Tiburon now with a big inverted lifting DDT. Just putting on the power moves on Juarez Jr. early. We saw Juarez hit that little head scissor trick early. But after that, he's been mostly with straightforward DDTs, single strikes. Of course, as I say that, he takes to the skies with a big springboard arm drag. And that might be his path to victory, hitting the more dynamic, high-flying moves. That might be the place that... Oh! And there you go. There's your drawback. That's why everybody doesn't do it. Is with high reward comes high risk. Now he finds himself getting his gut busted by Tiburon NEGRO Jr. Tiburon NEGRO Dos. Lo cierto. 1-2 and a very adamant kick out by Juarez. Another kick to the back. And a neck crank. Kicking it old school with Tiburon NEGRO as he applies pressure onto the young I was going to say young buck, but let's call him a young stud. And Juarez Jr. And there we go. Salida del Sol and a kick out at 1.5 or maybe 2.5. Now Tiburon looking for something else big. See if he hits it. Oh! Deep 6. Deep waters. 1, 2. No. Juarez Jr. swimming his way out of the jaws of death. Oh. Spiral tap. 1, 2. No. Again, Juarez Jr. kicking out. The young guy showing a lot of resilience here, eating these power moves. Big side kick. Now playing to the crowd. Something we haven't seen either guy do to this point. Juarez Jr. playing to the crowd, dropping an elbow on some fools. And there you go, jawbreaker. Again, Tiburon Negro taking the shortest route, the most direct, the simplest. But, you know, the old classics, they never get old, right? That's the idea. 1. No, and a big kick out by Juarez Jr. And for a guy named Tiburon Negro, he's not wearing very much black. Just throwing that out there. You half expect him to be like the Hot Topic version of Bruce the Shark from Finding Nemo. You know what I mean? Anyway. Now, pump handle backbreaker by Juarez Jr. there. See what he's going for now. He's got him up. Oh! Big border killer there. 1, 2, and 3. And Juarez Jr. is your new Cruiserweight champion for Super Pro Championship Wrestling. An ending, it kind of came from nowhere. 2 big moves, and that's it. You know, in a night where the veterans proved to outwit the newcomers, it is the newcomer, it is the young blood that comes in and wins the world championship. And you gotta, that puts really, not necessarily the Cruiserweight division, but a lot of what this company will look like going forward sort of into question. Right? Is this a place for prospects to make new ground? Is this a place for veterans to take a final run? Is this a dichotomy that we'll see going on throughout the rest of our broadcasts? I don't know. Only time will tell. This makes Juarez Jr. the second crowned Super Pro Championship Wrestling champion. We currently have a junior middleweight champion in Lex Elkins, who won in our previous show. And now Juarez Jr. winning the Cruiserweight Championship. And in our next show, it will be Hero Ramirez versus Jose Fernandez for the Middleweight Championship of the World. That is going to be a big time match, as we have a former world champion in Hero Ramirez versus a former sitting tag team champion, Jose Fernandez. And that is how we determined that would be the title fight for the middleweight division.